so happy to be here today. And I know most of you, and most of you know me, but for those of you who don't know me, my name is Madeline. And you may know that during the Christmas break, I had open heart surgery. And I made it. That's So I would like to talk about our hearts today, because I feel like I'm kind of an expert. I am also thankful for how Jesus and your prayers brought me through such a difficult time. Also, I am amazed about how important the Bible views our hearts in our daily walk with the Lord. First, a few comments about my surgery, which seemed to happen in a real rush. I did not expect to have open heart surgery, and if I had known, I could have worried about it for a good amount of time. I'm a worrier. Also, I would have asked more questions. Going into surgery, they planned to go up through an artery, and that is pretty common, so I wasn't very alarmed. But once I was revived, they told me they had to do open heart after all. The surgeon had to repair a valve with 4 big holes that were leaking, which is amazing that that was going on in there. But I was surprised to learn from my son that they put me on a heart and lung machine. That may explain why I fully believe that I saw my heart beating and open on the table by looking down at it. However, that could be a memory from television. I watch Grey's Anatomy. There are nice side benefits to heart surgery. The heart doctors give you a nice pillow as a reward for letting them work on you. This is what you get, and all you have to do to get one is to have open heart surgery. They want you to hold it like this so you won't move your arms around. That's hard to do. My surgeon even drew on here where the mitral valve is, because that was another question I didn't ask. I had no idea where it was. Another benefit is your family will find t-shirts for you on Amazon. Mine says, "Saved by Jesus and an amazing heart surgeon." And I wore it to my checkup with the surgeon, and he liked it so much that he gave me an extra 5 minutes to ask questions. I apologize for the no visitors sign if you came to visit me at the hospital, but my son conspired with my doctors to take away all electronics and the visitors so that I would concentrate on getting well and not on chit-chat, his words. But I think that it must have worked. My son always takes everything to the maximum degree, and it usually turns out well. They must have given pain medication during the operation, but I needed no pain pills afterwards, which is amazing. However, I was pretty much out of it because the doctor said anesthesia affects your brain last. It takes the longest to put it to sleep. So the brain is also the last to wake up and get back to normal. That's why in some people, things are pretty foggy for a while. And that was me. Maybe I still am. But through all this, I felt no pain, which seems amazing since they cut into the bone, opened the chest, sewed my leaking valves back together, and then wired me up. So, but no pain, no pain. I know why, because it's watching over me. Anyway, everything went for the best, and 2 months later, I'm pretty much back to normal. But I do feel better. I'm certain the reason I'm here with you today is because of all of your prayers and cards. You were all just wonderful. Just a couple of interesting facts about your heart. The average heart is the size of a fist in an adult. Your heart will beat about 115,000 times a day. And your heart pumps about 2,000 gallons of blood every day. The heart can continue beating even when it's disconnected from the body. Most heart attacks happen on a Monday. And Christmas Day is the most common day of the year for heart attacks to happen. Probably the excitement and maybe being with your relatives. If you are facing heart surgery, I would be glad to talk with you if you would like. Even though it is scary, the doctors can do so much to improve your heart and make you feel better. One of the most interesting things to me is how important our hearts are in the Bible. There are many Bible verses discussing the heart because God's word is clear that the condition of our hearts is critical in our walk with the Lord. Strong's Concordance of the Bible is a listing of primary words contained in the King James Version. It cites the heart as mentioned 826 times, whereas the brain is not mentioned once. You will be glad to know I'm not going to recite all 826. But to be fair, the Bible doesn't mention the brain, but it often mentions the mind. We are saved through faith, and it is a gift of God. Ephesians goes on to say the mind and heart must both be engaged in this process, because to have faith in God, we must believe and trust God. Believing requires the mind, but to trust someone requires your heart. I learned that if our faith ends with only the beliefs of the mind, this is not saving faith. James 2:19 explains that you believe that there is one God. Good, but even the demons believe that. In other words, Satan believes the truth about God in his mind, but he does not live for God. He does not trust God, and his heart is closed to God. This means that if we just believe certain facts, our faith is not that genuine. Genuine faith affects the way we live. Our life will only be lived for God if we trust him in our hearts. To have saving faith, it requires belief and trust, which require both the mind and the heart. Those who truly know God will love God with all their heart, with all their soul, and all their mind. Since my operation, my favorite verse is now from Psalm 73:26. My flesh and my heart may fail, but God is the strength of my heart and my portion forever. And I really like that. The Lord was certainly with me and brought me through what was, for me, a trip through the valley of the shadow of death. Now that may be overly melodramatic, but when you are in it, it is very scary. The amazing thing is that I did not feel afraid, and I felt certain that all would be well. I'm pretty sure this is where all your prayers for me came in, and I thank you very sincerely. Thank you.